Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Hey everyone.
I want to thank Monica for being my most fabulous co-host with me tonight as we kind of delve into like unfamiliar territory for the both of us, I would say.
Yeah. I've never covered YouTube drama
Maybe not so
before.
much me, but definitely for Monica.
John is so funny. Oh my
Sometimes you gotta
goodness.
call a spade. Come on, I'll give credit to where it's due sometimes. So I'm not always the most innocent of people. So tonight we're going to be discussing kind of like a very hot topic in the YouTube world right now. Miss Katie Joy. If you don't know who Katie Joy is, she is Without a Crystal Ball on YouTube. She has like a good following, and she's probably more disliked than I am, I would say. And she is in the middle of a serious lawsuit now with Miss Tati over defamation. So we kind of wanted to go live tonight and discuss what's going on. So Monica, I'm gonna jump to you.
Okay, hey everyone. So I got this news last night from Jamal, and he's actually in the chat
Hey,
now.
Jamal.
Hey Jamal. Jamal and I were chatting, and Jamal put me onto this because I had no clue. I'm just always so busy running around doing things. And I was shocked. And he said, Monica, when you get home, go to YouTube, look at the videos. Katie Joy is being sued. So my first question was like, well, who's Katie Joy? Because I don't really know her that well, right? I've heard the name here and there. And he explained to me, he goes, she's Without a Crystal Ball. And I'm like, wait a minute. It started clicking. She was on your channel before, wasn't she, John?
Yeah, we actually a few weeks ago, me, you, and Katie Joy actually she hopped on our live, and I have just a lot of distaste for Katie Joy. What made me kind of want to do this live was because the basis of the lawsuit kind of is that Katie Joy says things about people and presents them as fact. She doesn't say allegedly. She just says like, this is what's going on. She uses her opinion as fact. And that's why she's in like hot water right now. And she's done that with me. And I'll bring up screenshots of what she said about me and presented them as fact in a little bit. But yeah, I had her on because I believe at that time, Katie was upset with Katie and Sherelle have had issues, and Katie Joy hopped on our live and was kind of, oh, if you don't like Sherelle, I don't like Sherelle, and me and Sherelle have issues, trying to get me on Katie's side, but I wouldn't side with her for all the tea in China. So she was on real quick. I had less than stellar things to say about her, and it kind of lasted about like 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know her really well. But anyway, so I hopped on YouTube. I started doing some research and found out that Tati Westbrook, who is a makeup guru, okay, she's a beauty influencer. She's a millionaire. She is big time. She was suing this Katie Joy for defamation, and she's suing her for $5 million because according to the lawsuit, Katie covered a separate lawsuit that Tati and her husband are involved in. Tati's husband's name is James. Now, Tati's legal team is arguing that Katie's ongoing coverage is defamatory, and that's why they brought the lawsuit. There's a lot of mudslinging and a lot of accusations going back and forth, but it all started to come to a head when Katie published a vlog about 2 weeks ago where she reported on accusations involving Tati and James. James is Tati's husband, and their former business partner, Clark Swanson.
Now, Clark is suing Tati and James, correct? Because that's
yes. On Monday, he filed a lawsuit
in itself.
That's right. He's suing them for fraud. So, but it seems like Katie Joy had to jump on it. She had some sort of insider info, and she was putting these accusations out there on her channel that Clark is making in his lawsuit, saying that Tati and her husband were frauds and they weren't credible. But apparently, because Katie's vlog has now been deleted, her video, it's gone. But
her YouTube channel gone? I know she deleted her Twitter.
It's still there. Her YouTube channel's still there, but she deleted Twitter. But the video where she's being sued over is gone, along with a lot of other videos involving Tati and her husband, and a lot of tweets. Her whole Twitter account is gone. So all the tweets are gone. So in that video, because I did see it, the way she was presenting this information, the alleged fraud between Tati and James and their current business partner, was as fact. She didn't use the words alleged or supposedly or a source told me. She just said everything is fact, and there within lies the issue. If you don't have definitive proof that you could present to people, you cannot legally definitively say Tati Westbrook and her husband are frauds, they're liars, or they're thieves. You know what I mean?
And once the lawsuit happened, let me see if I could add this real quick. Katie Joy someone just said that her Twitter's back. If her Twitter's back, can you look up her name and my name? Because I have a couple of things she said that were slanderous about me, but I couldn't go look at her Twitter because I couldn't find it, because she's just been talking crap about me for quite a while. Hold on, let me see if I get her.
Her Twitter was shut down, and apparently, according to folks, I didn't check right before this video. Apparently, it's back up, but minus a lot of tweets that involve Tati and James.
If you guys want to, should I read her statement about the lawsuit?
Okay, well, before you go ahead and do that, that was her response. That was Katie's response to the lawsuit. I just want to dive a little bit deeper into the actual lawsuit itself. So, according to the allegations by Clark Swanson, who, by the way, is a highly intelligent man who is on several boards, and he speaks at Harvard, and he's sort of like, he's very innovative, and he's like an inventor, super smart. He was the brains behind their company, and Tati was like, the brand of the business. So according to Clark Swanson, he alleges multiple financial misdeeds against Tati and James. Reportedly, some including Tati's popular eyeshadow palette and a business agreement allegedly gone wrong. Okay, Katie herself gave a rundown on the lawsuit in another video, which she actually reported on the lawsuit, which was filed on Monday recently on her YouTube, which personally, if I was involved in a lawsuit, I wouldn't be reporting anything else about those people. I would just leave them alone. So according to the lawsuit, James has been involved in various legal maneuvers to try to get the case or hide assets and just do allegedly a lot of shady and underhanded things while in this business. Okay. So yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and read the.
Now, is James the 19-year-old is that who James is?
No, you're talking. No, this is not. James was a friend of Tati. James, in this particular scenario, James is Tati's husband.
Okay, because there was he's like the 19-year-old.
James Charles. He's another beauty influencer. Yeah,
and he had the falling out with Tati allegedly over about him putting a swipe up about vitamins. Same
Halo company. The business is called Halo Vitamins, and when she was launching it. Because James Charles was Tati's protege. She was his mentor, and she reached out to him and made him pretty much mold him into this YouTube beauty guru. And then she got mad and turned on him when he went to Coachella and he refused to endorse her brand and give her brand a shout out. She got really,
and he gave the competing brand a shout out and a swipe up or something.
Right, because he was paid for that. She wanted him to do it for free, and she took that slight and ended their friendship and tried to pretty much end James Charles, but it backfired. You know how God works, right? When you're digging graves for people, you're actually digging it for yourself. You know how he worked. So go ahead. Yep, John, go ahead.
Right. So there's a statement and from Katie that was on her Twitter, and I'll read it out loud. And hold on, give me 1 second. I have it. Here we go. So she says that Tati and James Westbrook have filed a lawsuit against me for defamation. I have not been served in this case. The filing alleges emotional distress and defamation for reporting on James Westbrook's multiple lawsuits for fraud in California and Hawaii. The lawsuit also alleges that I harmed Ms. Westbrook's reputation and is reason for why she is no longer on YouTube. My initial reporting outlined the lawsuit. Reporting outlined a lawsuit filed against Mr. Westbrook for his sister's alleging fraud related to the deceased mother's estate. In the lawsuit filed in district court in Hawaii case and the case number, blah, 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 his sister alleged that he convinced his mother to sign a quick claim deed of her property to him while she was gravely ill. His sister also alleged that Mr. Westbrook filed the quick claim deed and became sole owner of the property in the days before his mother passed away. After obtaining ownership of the property, his sister alleged that he took out numerous loans against the property. Mr. Westbrook's sister, Cheryl, provided an affidavit in court that their mother did not have a will, and the children all shared one-third ownership to all property she left at her death. Mr. Westbrook denied his sister's claims. A judge in Hawaii ordered that Mr. Westbrook pay attorney fees and estate management, which was awarded to his sister. A second lawsuit filed in California by William Hawk alleged that Mr. Westbrook took out a $250,000 loan and used his mother's property as collateral. Mr. Hawk stated in the complaint that Mr. Westbrook never paid him back. Mr. Westbrook has denied the claims. The court case is still ongoing and is scheduled for trial in 2021. A third lawsuit was filed against Tati and James Westbrook in California on October 20th, 2020. In that lawsuit, Clark Swanson alleges that the Westbrooks defrauded and breached their business contract. Mr. Swanson alleges due to their actions, the couple operated businesses that were in breach of contract of their businesses and resulted in Mr. Swanson not receiving millions of dollars for the launch of her cosmetics line. Mr. Swanson also alleges that Mr. Westbrook coffered the company assets of Halo Beauty on October 9, 2020, which Mr. Swanson alleges harmed the member's business and devalued the company. Tati Westbrook uploaded a video titled "Bye Sister" in May 2019, asserting that her husband, James, was a successful businessman and suggested through his advice to James Charles helped propel his career. However, in the same video, Miss Westbrook accused James Charles of sexual misconduct. In May 2020, Miss Westbrook publicly apologized to James Charles and asserted that she had been manipulated by Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson about the claims of sexual misconduct. She also asserted that James Charles promoting Sugar Bear hair vitamins was not a motivation for her video. However, in the court filing of Clark v. Westbrook and hold on. Where was I? Sorry, I lost my place. May 2020, blah, blah, blah. Celebrity status and YouTube influence to convince him to give up 16.66% ownership of the company to make the Westbrooks majority owners. Mr. Swanson alleges that Miss Westbrook promised him that James Charles, among other YouTube friends, would not promote competitors and only promote Halo Beauty vitamins. Mr. Swanson alleges her promise to him and undercut when Mr. Charles uploaded a swipe up for the Sugar Bear hair in April 2019. At this time, in review of the lawsuit, my attorney is confident the allegations they've made against me and my business are without merit. We are exploring legal options and are considering filing a countersuit at this time. Freedom of speech and freedom of the press allows the media to report on matters of public interest and enables a person to give their opinions based upon information they have found. At no time in my reporting have I ever knowingly made false statements about the Westbrooks, nor has my reporting was done with any malicious intent, but rather to provide insight into a public story that Ms. Westbrook made public by uploading by sister and obtaining more than 40 million views for the video. Ms. Westbrook, 3 more paragraphs. Ms. Westbrook is alleging that her absence from social media is due to the actions that I have taken against her. However, my reporting of this story has been based upon public records, sources, and my opinion based on public story, none of which is done with malice. At no point does Miss Westbrook acknowledge that her video by sister and subsequent video breaking my silence and large public backlash could be a large reason she is not online. The Westbrooks falsely accused me of being a troll and that I have created fake accounts to harass them and others. This is categorically false. The Westbrooks accused me of being fired from Pathos for improper conduct. This is categorically false. The lawsuit accuses me of improper conduct and many other false statements. They are seeking a $5 million from me. In the lawsuit, Clark Swanson versus Tati and James Westbrook, Mr. Swanson alleges that the couple started a cosmetics line outside of their business agreement with Halo Beauty. In the lawsuit, Mr. Swanson alleges that the Westbrooks earned about $16 million from the sale of the palette and deprived him of the 1/3 revenue of that palette, which is just over $5 million. Thank you. Thank God that's over, because that was a lot to read.
That was a lot.
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, that was a whole lot said there. My goodness.
And that last few parts was like hard to read because, she's saying she's basing it off opinion, but she's saying it's fact, and then she wonders why she's getting sued.
That's the issue. It sounds like from what I'm gathering, it sounds like Katie Joy spoke to Mr. Swanson or someone on Mr. Swanson's team, and she got a jump on the lawsuit. And there's nothing wrong with that. But a lawsuit is just a lawsuit, right? And basically it's allegations being made. Ooh, did we lose John?
I'm here.
There you are. It's allegations being made by a plaintiff against a defendant. Nothing is proven until you go to court and the judge hears the evidence and he makes a ruling. So until that is done, it's all alleged. And that's how she should have presented the tea, this exclusive tea, this tea that she has as alleged, because, and it may be true because, this Mr. Swanson man, he comes with a long, hefty resume. He's pretty reputable. It sounds like he was the brains behind the Halo Vitamin Company, and Tati and her husband got allegedly greedy. And I'll go on to read more of the details of the case. But for instance, when the business initially started, it was a 50-50 business. Mr. Swanson had 50%. Tati and her husband had a 50% interest. Right before they were launching the company, the Halo Vitamin line, Tati and James, her husband, approached Mr. Swanson and said, hey, we want to own 2/3 of the company. Can you give us a split of 33% each, which would have given them a controlling interest of the business? Right. He agreed to it. And as things progressed and the Halo Vitamins took off because of all of Tati's popularity, they made millions of dollars. They got greedy. Outside companies approached Tati and was like, someone was whispering in her ear, hey, at the end of the day, it's all business, right? And business could be cutthroat. They said, why are you even paying this man 35%, 33%, when you and your husband can have 100% and have your own vitamin line, etc. Vitamins, nutritional drinks, granola bars, shampoos, eyeshadow palettes, you name it. Because she can sell anything. She can sell water. Her brand and her influence is so major in the beauty industry that she doesn't need a partner. And I guess before they went ahead and partnered with Mr. Swanson, they should have thought that through and got a lawyer and done the homework for themselves. It sounds like he did all the homework and they just wanted to sit back and be the brand of the business and reap the rewards of it. So that's what the lawsuit is about. You know, he's saying that they stole from him. They got greedy and they cut side deals, and it's just a mess, John.
Kat just asked, does Katie Joy have that much clout that she could hurt or defame their business? I mean,
whose business?
Tati's.
She has a lot of clout. I mean, look what she did to James Charles. And I'm gonna tell you, this is from me speaking from my personal opinion. When that whole thing went down with her and James Charles, and she came on YouTube and she did the blue eyes, right? And the sad tears rolling down her face. I saw through the bullshit back then. My energy told me this woman is lying and she's manipulating the audience. And I was disgusted by it. But then you go and read all the comments and it was thousands, like over 500K comments or something like that at this point, tearing James Charles down. They were saying he was canceled and he was literally losing subs by the thousands a minute.
Like, didn't he like lose like 3 million, something like something like that?
You would refresh, it'd be like another 5,000, 10,000 gone. It was crazy. And I felt so bad for that young man because he really got caught up and he really thought Tati was his sister. But all I saw when she did that goodbye sister video was a devil with horns, to be honest with you. That's all I saw. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? She's so sweet. She's so kind. Don't you hear her story? She did everything for him. And the least he could do was promote her brand. But I saw right through the charade. I really did. So she has a lot of influence. I don't know if it's as much influence as she had back then. Does she have today? Because people are getting hip to phonies, right? And people of privilege exerting that privilege to manipulate people. So I don't know if she has that, but she still carries a lot of weight. She's a big timer. She's up there.
Now, as like, how do you feel? Like, do you think Katie Joy has enough clout to ruin Tati's business?
Oh, hell no. Hell to the nah.
So, pretty much, and like, what she's suing for is what, $5 million?
She's suing for $5 million in damages. According to the lawsuit, and I can read some of it to you. She says that upon information and belief, defendants, which is Katie Joy, have manifested an intent to expose plaintiffs, which is Tati and James, and have relentlessly pursued plaintiffs. Upon information and belief, since May 2019, defendants have knowingly and willfully engaged in a course of conduct directed at the plaintiffs, Tati and James, including publishing defamatory statements about them, which has seriously alarmed, annoyed, harassed, and is detrimental to them, and which serves no legitimate purpose. Defendants' pattern and practice of civil harassment targeting plaintiffs Tati and James are in violation, and it lists the law, includes but is not limited to the following: falsely accusing plaintiffs of having a long history of crimes. She accused Tati's husband, James, of having a long history of crimes, being a career criminal and a scammer, theft, fraud, having multiple felonies, stealing money from his dying mother, having a long rap sheet, being a career con artist, being a demon.
Like, kind of like allegedly, like, I don't want to say stalk, but like stalk her family.
Well, that's what this lawsuit's saying. Since 2019, she's been, going after them relentlessly in a pattern of harassment. And she accused James of being a demon and intentionally killing his mother. Woo! Now, listen. Okay, listen. Falsely accusing plaintiff Tati of being a snake, a con artist, selling snake oil, intentionally and knowingly selling products harmful to the public. Ooh, that's pretty. See that right there? This is something I would never say. Intentionally and knowingly selling products harmful to the public. Wow. Having a company that is stealing property from other companies and manipulating its customers, being a demon and lying. Now, these might be her personal feelings based on the inside tea she got from Mr. Swanson or whoever. And I have a feeling she did get it directly from Mr. Swanson. I don't know, but I just have that feeling. You have to say, this is my personal opinion. I don't know this for a fact. Allegedly, he may have killed his mother. You might want to present it like that, but come on, that's pretty low. There's some things you just don't say.
That, I mean, like, yeah, I couldn't agree. I think everybody would agree with you. And then, yikes. Like, I'm tongue-tied at that, about the killing of the mother. Like, you know, that is, whoo, like you said, like, oh my God. That is intense.
Manipulating customers. Does she have proof of that? Selling snake oil. Does she have proof of that?
Oh, Elizabeth B just said that Katie said in a live the other day that she will sue all the drama channels talking about her.
She did.
She called 4 of them out by name.
Well, that's fine, because at the same time, she is on YouTube. She's a YouTuber, so she's somewhat of a public figure. And so it's Tati.
How many subs does she have? Isn't she a public figure? Doesn't she make?
She has like 130K subs or something around that amount. She kind of catapulted to that number by covering such drama and covering these things involving Tati and her husband.
Well, she got started, like, I believe, like, from Teen Mom. Like, that's how, like, you know, she got her claim to fame. I think, I don't know if it was Janelle. Like, I don't watch Teen Mom, but I think that she got her, like, her big break was through Teen Mom, a show that I've never watched once in my life. But I believe that's how she became, like, you know, a name.
That show has a cult following. When Janelle was on the show, especially, they're called hatters, the people that follow that show and hate Janelle. And when I tell you, I've had them, the hatters, over the years send me all kinds of intel, child, on Janelle. They dig deep. That cult following, they hate her so much. She's like Satan herself. Like, that's Janelle in their mind is the walking Satan. They hate Janelle. So that's probably true. You know, I could see her jumping on that bandwagon. But I think where she really catapulted to fame is when she started covering the YouTube beefs and dramas. She started to dive deep into that and kind of transition from being a reality TV vlogger to a tea channel. She was kind of almost wanting to be a drama tea channel kind of thing. So yeah, I could see that.
And I will get to, like, you know, the stuff that she said about me. Like, you know, I had no idea that, like, there was, like, this counterculture on YouTube. Like, you know, people seem to be more interested in what the bloggers are saying about each other than, like, you know, what the bloggers are actually supposed to be covering.
Big time. There is so much YouTube beef, even amongst the mukbangers. There's beef.
I guess there's, like, you know, there's beef on Instagram, there's beef on Twitter. I guess it's everywhere. Like, you know, it is what it is.
And you know, people are saying in the chat, the lawsuits that were filed by Mr. Swanson and Katie Joy's lawsuit, you know, Tati filed against yes, they're all connected, but you really can't spill tea about a lawsuit that hasn't gone to court yet and hasn't been there's not a judgment in it. Had the suit against Tati and her business partner gone to court and the judge ruled for Mr. Swanson and, you know, ruled in his favor, and in that lawsuit, he alleged that Tati sells snake oil, that she's fraudulent, she's a thief, and all these other allegations Katie Joy made against Tati, then yeah, you know, she can go ahead and report it as fact, because it would be fact. There's a judgment, there's a lawsuit, there's a judgment, this is fact. But the lawsuit hadn't even been filed. There's no judgment in the suit. So for you to jump the gun and discuss the details that are being alleged in the lawsuit without a judgment and don't say it's an allegedly, is where she got herself into the legal hot water she's in now.
Well, Pippi Longstocking just said, I've just seen 10 bloggers talking about her. She's like this week's hot topic and nothing about her. Well, that was like me like last week. I'm like, dude, there are people talking about me. I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. Like, I'm like, oh, this YouTuber's talking about me. I'm like, who? Like, and I'm kind of like new to YouTube, like, but like, it's really insane. Like how like people find it more interesting to get attached to this, like, blogger drama than the shows that we're actually supposed to report on, which is just crazy to me. It's like Young and the Restless. It really is. So it's I guess it is what it is.
YouTubers are becoming more superstars than reality TV stars. First, we used to have legit celebrities like, Sarah Jessica Parker and Matt Damon, real superstars, big time. Who's that couple that are getting divorced? She has the long dark hair and they have 1 million kids. He cheated on her years ago. This is old school. This is like these. Anyway, there used to be real celebrities out in the world. No, not reality television stars. These were like major picture. Angelina Jolie.
Oh.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie and her husband. Those used to be real superstars. Then that kind of started to fade away, and reality TV stars kind of took the spotlight, right? That's all people would talk about are reality stars. Nene, Kim Zolciak.
It's funny you bring that up because I'm looking at Portia, one of Portia's posts today from like Real Housewives of Atlanta, and I forgot what she was posting about, but I saw that Viola Davis, Oscar-winning Viola Davis from the movies and from TV, commented on Portia's post, and like I think Portia has like 6.5 million IG followers, and Viola, who has an Oscar and Emmys, has like 2. I'm like, wow. Like you would think that, like,
reality stars they took the spotlight, but they're now starting to fade away. And guess who's taking the spotlight? Because things change all the time. YouTubers, James Charles, Tati, who's the other the beauty guru? I forgot his name. He just had some drama with a black boyfriend. What's his name? Child, my memory be going.
Wait. I don't follow beauty.
What's that? Y'all know in the chat. Who's that big time? He's
Jeffree Star.
Jeffree Star. Yeah, okay. Jeffree Star now. These are Nick Avocado. These are the YouTubers are stepping into the spotlight. And if you ask me, the reality stars, besides 90 Day Fiance, which is just its own phenomenon, the housewives are fading into the black. The ratings have dropped drastically. Ratings literally are down 75% than what they used to be. Atlanta in its heyday used to get 4 million to 5 million views. And that's how they were able to pay Nene 2.8 million a year. Now, Atlanta was like 1.5, 1.7 is a whole lot, So things are changing. Things are changing.
Well, look at like the ratings that I just posted from 90 Day Fiance, like how oversaturated they got with all their spinoffs and how, their Monday night lineup is, the Family Chantel, like at 42nd in the ratings,
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Someone said Katie bought subscribers.
She may have, I don't know.
Possibly. Who knows? A lot of people buy
I know I never have. I only have 12,000, but they're an honest 12. You know what I mean?
Right. And you feel good about that. And that's how you want to build your brand organically. I hide my subs for now until I get to a certain point, but I'm okay. I'm at midway point. And once I get to a certain goal that I have in mind, it's a personal goal for me, I will reveal my subscribers, but I'll tell you each and every single one is legit. And I believe in an organic platform because I want real people watching my stuff, not people over in India that don't follow reality television.
Right. No, I agree. Like I've never bought a follower in my life, like either on Twitter or Instagram or like a subscriber. Like it's just not real. Like,
Right. It's a tough road, but you just got to grind out, John. You're doing good though. since you've returned to YouTube and you're taking it seriously. I'm so proud of you. We spoke today and I just wanted to hug you with the great news you shared with me. I was like, yes.
Well, I got great news today, and you guys will find out shortly. But today was an awesome day. And like I said, I wouldn't be here without Monica showing me. Cody is dying to say something. What, Cody? He's raising
Monica,
his hand.
You stop.
He is raising his hand in the background. Like what?
So is that why like Teresa put her house up, like her $3 million mansion up because she can't afford it now? Because
Teresa, they're her and Joe. Well,
because they're paying less now. It's like Uber.
Well, I just think she just wants maybe like a nice condo in
something she could afford.
Not in Jersey City. What's the other place that y'all? What's over there near the Hudson?
Well, Bergen, Jersey City.
Is it Jersey City that have the beautiful condos overlooking the water?
Hoboken.
Yes, Hoboken. In my opinion, the kids are much older. Gia's in college. She's gonna be she's a sophomore. The other girls are in high school. She just wants to get how Stella got her groove back. She wants her back blown out by someone taller than 4'3".
Cody's blowing his mouth right now. She was back blown out by someone who's taller than 4'3". She just said, "I can't."
Come on now. She done readjusted the hairline, and she don't know how to act. She's divorced. She's gonna sell that house, get herself like a 1.8 million. Because I heard real estate in New York and New Jersey is kind of cheap now, is what I was hearing. Get herself like a $1.8 million condo on the water and live life.
Well, Hoboken, Fort Lee, like Fort Lee's Bergen, Hoboken's Hudson. You get the good view from Hoboken. Like you could live in Edgewater where Margaret lives. Like that's also very
okay. Mm-hmm. Go Margaret.
What about Margaret?
I said go Margaret.
She lives in Edgewater. Very nice. Again, Cody, one more time because I want to get back to the Katie Joy thing.
I still never finished my thing.
Go ahead.
I don't understand why.
Go ahead, Cody.
You know me, Monica.
That was my very New York.
I don't understand. Why don't you just get a mobile home and just travel around? And,
Teresa ain't living in no mobile home, honey. She
don't need all that money and whatever because hey.
She's a housewife, quote unquote. She has an image to keep up.
Well, now you can be a motorhome wife.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Did I just start a new show?
No. Go back to.
I love you too, Jay Kiddo. You're so
Thank you, Jay Kiddo.
Thank you. She's so sweet.
I love you guys.
Edgewater.
We love you too. Is it?
Oh yeah,
let's get back to this lawsuit, though. Let's get back to this.
We're going off a tangent. I have more stuff to say, and so do you. So let's go back to.
So in the lawsuit, Tati and James' attorneys list 114 instances of Katie allegedly stating her negative opinions about Tati and James as fact during her videos. 114. Goodness,
that's a lot of instances. I'm trying to look up the paperwork right now, but go ahead.
Okay, so including a clip as part of the evidence, there's a clip where Katie states she and her own lawyer believe the suit to be meritless in the accusations. They also included that. See, everything she's saying now, they are downloading, they are saving. If I was her, I would just remove myself from social media, remove myself from YouTube, not shut the channel down, but just take a hiatus and keep my mouth shut because Tati has enough money to legally cripple Katie forever, really shut her down and run her off media. So I would definitely keep my mouth quiet. Okay.
If it were me, it would be the absolute last thing I would be talking about.
Absolutely. And, someone mentioned earlier that Katie threatened a few fellow YouTube channels. And I've heard that too. Allegedly, she's threatened to sue YouTube channels. And in her statement, she wrote or said, anyone gloating or acting above me, just remember, if you are making videos like I do and cover commentary, this can and might happen to you. Just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. But be careful what you cover. Seriously, there are a lot of wealthy people on YouTube that spend a lot of money to keep smaller creators quiet. Come on, girl. You cannot present things as fact before they are actually facts.
So let's show what Katie Joy presented as fact about me, which were not facts, because I have that too. And now, like, these are just a couple of things. Like, I didn't know her Twitter was back up, but these are just 2 instances of Katie Joy presenting things as fact about me, which was not factual at all. So let me get that overlay. Hold on, let me find that. Okay. So let me go to the other one first. This was back in, and this is a message that somebody had sent me, because, like, I don't follow Katie Joy. I never have. I've never watched one of her YouTube channels, one of her videos. Like, I could care less. But somebody on Instagram, this was back in February, wrote to me, wanted to let you know that Katie Joy without a crystal ball is slamming you on her Instagram big time. And they sent me a tweet from her. She's also accusing you of setting up a fraudulent GoFundMe because you're broke. Please check out her Instagram. She bullies people constantly. And I could read that tweet that you might not be able to see in that overlay. I could read it out loud. But in that tweet, Katie Joy said, oh my God, my lighting just fell. Thank God it's an overlay. This was dated 2/8/20. Katie Joy writes on her Twitter account, figured it out. John Yates slammed Tanya after she shared a very personal story about child sexual abuse. Then he started a GoFundMe and disappeared. I don't think slamming cats about sexual abuse is a cute look. This is what this, okay. Okay, wait, there's so many things wrong with this. And now what I just said, that's what she said and presented it as fact. So first of all, what's wrong? The first thing that's wrong, oh God, I don't want that live with StreamYard thing. Hold on. That's just going to irk me. There we go. The first thing that's wrong with this is that there was no GoFundMe, that I had some idiot make up a fake GoFundMe posing as me about some website I didn't have. So there was never a GoFundMe. 8 million people told her that was never a GoFundMe. Somebody started. I tried to report it. It never got taken down. I told her, and many other people told her, I'm like, that's not my GoFundMe. I put in my story. I posted about it. I'm like, report this GoFundMe. It's not me. But she's stating as fact that and the thing with, I had a fight with Tanya, I think, oh my God, I want to say like November or early December of last year. That had nothing to do with a GoFundMe. The fight that me and Tanya had is not how she framed it at all. She's making it seem like Tanya shared a story about sexual abuse, and I started a GoFundMe and ran because of it. Like it's just complete bullshit. It's just one lie, and she's stating this as fact on her page.
Yeah, that's an issue, and it opens up to liability when you're stating things as fact and they're not. If something is false and you're saying this actually happened, then you open yourself up to liability. If you're not sure or you've gotten it from a source, you can say, according to my source, allegedly this happened. I don't know it to be fact, but this is what I'm being told by a source. That's how you present it. I've been blogging now for 8 years. A lot of these bloggers are new. They just want to hop on the YouTube bandwagon or the blogging bandwagon, and they're not doing their homework, or they don't have lawyers. I had to get a lawyer 5 years ago, and I've had this lawyer has been on my team, and I pay her all the time, even when she's doing nothing. Because
Jean said she retracted her statement on Twitter on 2/9. That's after multiple people said, like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and like if you don't take that down, you're going to get in trouble, because it was lie after lie after lie after. I mean, every sentence in that which is presenting as fact was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all of
dangerous. It. That's dangerous. And here we are today as a result of that pattern of behavior. As bloggers, we have responsibilities to present facts. And if we don't know it personally, or we haven't seen sufficient evidence to back up a claim, you can't present it as fact. You have to say a source allegedly from this source. And even then, when I say that, it's because I've seen sufficient amount of evidence, but I may not be able to present to the public for legal reasons. If my lawyer says, no, Monica, don't put that out, I wouldn't, I can't do it. But if I describe to you exactly what happened in that sex tape, trust me, I've seen it. And I have it. And I may put it on OnlyFans one day. So stay tuned.
And what's worse about this tweet that she posted on the 8th is like that she's making it seem like I'm slamming Tanya about sexual abuse and like how bad do you want to make me look? Not only is she saying that I have a fake GoFundMe and I'm broke and that like I'm running from it, she's also throwing onto the well, you know what? Since I'm lying about him, let me throw some more shit onto it and say that I'm shaming her for sexual abuse, which that didn't happen. I disappeared and I took the money from this fake GoFundMe that I never had and ran with it. Like that never happened. I mean, it's in like, in like 40 words, like
where's my money?
It's insane. Like, and I had already had I did not like her prior to this because, she was taking my my IG lives and she was doing, she was making whole YouTube shows on her monetized channel and just using my stories and my lives and getting paid like, based off what I was reporting and not even like, crediting me. And I was like, wow,
that's, a lot of people do that. They take your content, they steal it and don't give you credit. But I just don't operate like that. If I read something from someplace else, I'm going to definitely cite that person because we all work hard, So do we want to talk about Clark's lawsuit against Tati and her husband? Because he filed it on Monday.
Well, I don't see why not. But let me, before we do, there's another instance where Katie just made up crap about me, and I want to bring that to light. It just goes like with the, she's saying she's doing this, it's her opinion. Where in that tweet did she say this? In my opinion, that's, she's presenting this as facts. And that's where I am like, Tati, like, this, I've been down that road with her and I know how she operates. What's this other one? Okay. So recently, hold on, let me get the screenshot. Hold on, so I can read it out loud. So that's another, this is more recently, Katie Joy tweeted, there were screenshots released by John Yates about me. Someone told him I have a restraining order against Sherelle. This is not true. I don't send anyone to speak to creators. No one speaks for me but me. That's all. I never released any screenshot about Katie. I don't have any screenshots to release. And I replied because I'm like, it was like the strike 1 million with her. I'm like, seriously, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And you wonder why everybody hates you. I never released any screenshots about you, nor spoke about restraining order. The last time we spoke, I dragged you, referring back to like when she came on to the live with me and you a couple of weeks ago. And honestly, I felt bad, but now I realize I should have dragged you harder because you can't keep your lives together. And I didn't release any screenshots about restraining orders about Katie. It's like insane. It's insane. Like the stuff that comes out of her mouth is insane.
Wow. I'm glad you were able to clear your name though, because I know what it's like when people tell lies about you behind your back. I'm glad you were able to clear that up because
I wasn't like really worried about it because at this point I was like, ugh. I tweeted out like my response, like, but she's like not even worth like it for me. And like,
yeah.
Since I've known Katie and briefly, it's just been like, there's never been like anything positive from Katie in my books. Like, it's always been negative. It's always been like, Katie said this about you. Katie made that lie up about you. Katie's using your material. It's like, I've never. The only time Katie was ever like, quasi a human being to me was when she hopped on that live because she thought like, oh, well, John doesn't like Sherelle, so I'm going to, my enemy is my friend. So I'm going to hang up with John and go against Sherelle. I'm like, no.
Well, you never know. Tati and James's attorney might call you into court as a character witness as to a person, a victim of Katie Joy, I would guess, an alleged victim. Because again, I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know her tweets and that stuff. But you never know. I mean, there's a history of just going online and spewing false statements about people. You might get pulled into this too, John.
Well, I know, with Janelle, Janelle, and I know Janelle's very hated. And again, I don't watch Teen Mom, but I know Janelle's not the most favorite person in the world. But I know that Janelle has gotten into it with Katie, and I think Amber has gotten into it.
Wow.
But go ahead, keep reading the lawsuit because it's interesting.
Well, that was the lawsuit. You can leave a link down in your description box for the whole entire suit. But on Monday, Tati and James were sued by Clark Swanson. And that's why, going back to what I was saying, is I think Clark or someone in Clark's team may have spilled the tea to Katie Joy, which is pretty impressive that she has, people coming to her on that level spilling tea, because she knew about this lawsuit that was going to be filed before the public knew. And it was filed on Monday. And in the lawsuit, Clark alleges breach of contract, gross negligence, fraudulent inducement in handling of Westbrook's vitamin company, Halo Beauty. Swanson claims he initially owned 50% of the company, but just before the company launched, Tati and her husband asked that Swanson give them 2/3 of the business. Allegedly, Tati agreed that in exchange for her and James gaining the majority control of the company, Halo Beauty would become her umbrella brand. Okay, so she promised him that she would put her all into it, and that was going to be her anchor brand, which she would take beyond the gummy vitamins they are known for into the realms of skincare, cosmetics, and anything else that might benefit the beauty empire. According to E! News, Tati and Swanson's, her famous name would lure customers in because she's a big influencer. Whatever the product ended up being, quote unquote, Miss Westbrook claimed that the product did not matter. And so the lawsuit just goes on and on and on. But that's the gist of it. Basically, he's saying that she didn't keep her end of the agreement. And what happened was, after the product took off the way it did, and she started looking at those dollar signs, millions of dollars, she's like, I don't need him. I can cut him out the deal. Hire an attorney, hire a marketing person, a brand person. I already have the formula because she learned it from Mr. Swanson. I know what to do. We could just do this on our own. And that's where she breached contracts. So, and I'm pretty sure Katie and her attorney are going to use that lawsuit to somehow substantiate what Katie did. It's going to be interesting how this turns out. Also too, I know that Tati and James's attorney filed motions requesting that Katie preserve evidence, meaning she wasn't supposed to delete any YouTube videos, none of her tweets, Instagram posts, none of that stuff. And she did.
Well, she probably made whatever on YouTube private. That was probably her way of getting around.
No, they said they're completely gone. They're deleted. The videos completely gone because
if someone made a YouTube video private, or if it's deleted. If I private a video, won't nobody see it?
Right, but according to court documents and people on Instagram and people on social media, the videos are gone. So even if they're private and you have a link to the private video, you're supposed to be able to see it. You have to have a direct link to the private video. According to court documents, they're completely gone. And a lot of her tweets, they said over 40 tweets are gone, just deleted, related to Tati. Because according to the lawsuit, she's been allegedly stalking Tati and James for a very long time. She was actually looking up marriage certificates, criminal histories of their parents. She was searching for Tati's father. Just stalking on a whole nother level. And it went on for close to 2 years.
Well,
So
allegedly, like I believe, like Katie Joy, this is like her second Twitter account, I believe, because I think that I don't remember when it was, but like a year or maybe a year and a half ago, she had to restart her Twitter because she said that she had gotten hacked, allegedly. But she didn't get hacked. She had to delete her Twitter and start over because she didn't want people having access to all the messages, from what I heard, allegedly. She didn't want people. She had a lot of drama in DMs on Twitter, and she had to delete her account. Said she got hacked, allegedly, and started a new Twitter account because she had to kind of like clean up all that mess because she didn't want those DMs coming back to haunt her. That's what I heard, allegedly. My opinion.
wow. Well, listen, everyone has a digital footprint. People like Tati can hire forensic detectives. They can subpoena IPs. They can, even your comments made under those tweets, if they somehow slander or defamatory towards Tati and James, they can subpoena those people's IPs and find out their identities and pull them into the lawsuits too. So you can run, but you can't hide. We all leave a digital footprint, and with the right money and resources, any one of us can be tracked down, and deleted tweets can be pulled from Twitter's database with a subpoena. It's easy. It's not a big deal. I mean, so deleting tweets is just, it's senseless and it's useless because the data is still there. They have it. And if Twitter is subpoenaed by Tati's legal team, they have to provide them with those deleted tweets. The date, the time, everything, all the responses. Mm-hmm.
I also believe, didn't Katie Joy also, and I don't know if you're aware about this, Monica, but didn't she allegedly piss like the Chrisleys off? Didn't she get into some like kind of kerfuffle with Todd Chrisley?
He said kerfuffle.
I did.
I don't follow her, so I don't know. I don't know if she has. I don't even know that she follows that show. Maybe the people in the chat would know. I don't know. I don't know anything.
In my opinion, I feel like I know like I kind of like I talk about like two different shows. I talk about 90 Day Fiance and I talk about Housewives. I like and I really can't cast a wider net because I feel like I'd be taking too much on. But I feel like, Katie is the type of person who just will talk about whatever show is popular, not knowing, and this is my opinion, not knowing much about them and just saying stuff because, she wants the views, she wants the clicks, and she doesn't care about what she's saying as long as, like, if 90 Day Fiance is like the, okay, so yes, Todd did threaten to sue her. So here we go. I was okay. Well, look at me knowing something.
Todd don't play though, so that doesn't surprise me. He's quick to tell you he will sue you. I stay on his good side. I like Todd Chrisley, actually. I really do.
I don't watch that show either, but I wouldn't screw with him. Oh hell no, nope.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
But like she just kind of like puts her like she dips her pen in all the company's ink, to get the views, and I don't know. That's just not me. Like, you won't see me reporting on like, I don't know. What's a TV show that's popular? Like, I don't know.
Or HOP, Real Housewives of Potomac.
Well, yeah, like, I'm not on I haven't been on your panel because like, I'm like, I don't know as much as you guys know about that. And like, when Salt Lake City starts or like when we talk about like New Jersey or Atlanta, I'll be back on there. But like, I'm not going to bring you guys down because I don't know enough about it, and like I don't need to be like the dead weight. I don't need to be on your panel saying, "Oh, here I am, look at me, I'm on a panel," when I don't know anything about the show,
Yeah.
And that's how I am. Like I don't need to have my face everywhere on every platform, on every show. I'd rather be knowledgeable about like something than not know what I'm talking about, just to have my face there,
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree with you. This case is going to be interesting. Do you feel Katie has a case here? Do you feel it's free speech and it's protected under fair use and all that other stuff?
No, I hope that, like, I don't know about like, I like, I'm kind of happy that Tati did this, because, at least with me, I've been on that. Like I just said, like I've been, I don't want to say a victim, like, because I don't care. I don't consider myself a Katie Joy victim. But like I've had her lie about me and presented as fact, just like she did with Tati allegedly. And this is good for people who just want to, make up things about people and present them as fact.
Yeah.
Recently I've been called a whole lot of things and that aren't true.
Right.
And,
same here. Yeah.
Both of us, and good that somebody actually took the initiative and said, I'm not going to let this slide. Like, you can't run your mouth like that. And no one's really been called out on it until like pretty much now.
Right.
And
she met the right one, as they say. She met the right one.
And that's it. You can go on and on and on, but sooner or later you're gonna get caught, and someone's gonna call you out on it. So good for Tati, and like I really have absolutely no remorse for Katie, and I hope she gets what's coming to her. That's it.
I don't know Katie personally. Like I said, I only learned about her recent days when when this whole drama went down recently. I'm talking about, and she came on your channel. I was like, oh, okay, Katie Joy. Hi, how are you? And she totally ignored me, which was fine. I mean, someone says hi and you act like you didn't hear them. That's kind of bizarre, but whatever. That's just some people just like that, it just boils down to home training. But outside of the home training, do I feel like she has a case? Based on what I read in the lawsuit, Tati may have her on the stalking. Because if you're trying to dig up dirt on her parents and step parents and grandmammy and grandpappy, it's none of your business.
Not the grandmammy and the grandpappy, not them.
It's it's none of nobody. I mean, where do you go with that as a blogger? Like, what do you do with it? Her great grandmammy robbed a bank, huh? Like, okay, and there's just certain lines brother-in-laws and half brothers and halves. There's certain lines you don't cross. And to me personally, I just feel like that's a waste of time doing that type of level of research on someone's family members. I just think it is. So she might have her on the harassment. Now she needs to wait and see how the lawsuit plays out with Swanson. And the judge comes back and he sides with Swanson and he gets a judgment against Tati and them. That's going to definitely affect Tati's lawsuit against Katie, because the things that she said, they're not alleged anymore. They did happen. It's real. You are a scammer. You are a thief. You are all the things Swanson accused Tati and her husband of in that lawsuit. If he gets a judgment against them and they're proven guilty, and he wins a judgment, then that works out better for Katie Joy. But if he loses the case and those allegations aren't proven, Katie Joy might as well just pack up and run real fast to Mexico or something, because she's going to be bankrupt. They're going to tax and put liens against every single penny she owns, every single piece of property, the hat in her baby girl's closet, everything. Everything's going to have a tag on it that says Tati and James, because it belongs to them. They're going to back the truck up to her house and clean it out and put the house on the truck or demolish the house. So, yeah, this is a serious case. Yeah, this is a serious case. This is
people say, like, because we're public figures and it's different. But like, you still can't just come up say oh, well, what do you say about the killing the mother, or what was that now? Like, what did she like? You just can't say certain things and present them as facts. Say like allegedly, or it's my opinion, or but you're saying things that are outright defamatory about people, and like like I can say Jesus,
don't say
the ghosts of no, you know what? I'm just gonna keep my mouth. The ghost of Christmas past just sexually assaulted me, but that just happened. That's facts.
Right.
He gave me a present.
I don't know what world you can do that in. There's consequences for everything we say. And as bloggers, we have to do it responsibly, right? As journalists, we have to report the news, the tea, spill it responsibly. And there's lines you just don't cross. Going and trying to find this woman's great grandparents and mom and dad and brothers, and that's just crossing a line. I don't know. I don't have time for stuff like that.
And those aren't public figures.
They're not.
And don't go on ancestry.com, or whatever you need to do to go find
James is a public figure by way of being married to a public figure. I get that part, but not her parents, not his parents, not the mother that he claimed, his grandmammy, his mammy, his pappy, and making the claim that he tried to kill his mother, like quote unquote, girl, like that is just certain things you just have to put the brakes on it and ask yourself 5 times, should I say this? And if it doesn't feel right, just put the brakes on it. I always say, think 5 times, talk once, or just keep your mouth shut.
Did we cover everything? Are we good? Is there anything else that we need to say? Let me look at the overlays, see, make sure I got everything. Got that.
You want to take calls, John? Do you want people call in and talk about it?
Yeah, let's do that. All right, so let me drop the link if anybody wants to come on your personal experiences. There's the link. I don't get many callers, so I don't know how many people are going to jump on. If Katie Joyce,
Jamal should jump on. Jamal is very cute. Him and I spoke last night for about a good hour. He brought me up to speed on this case, and it's the only reason why I'm talking about it today with you. I told you about it. I said, John, because you were like, Monica, can you come on live with me? I'm like, for you, baby, anything, right? And I said, well, what are we going to talk about? Because I just don't like to come on here and twiddle our thumbs. Like I told you, it's good to present meaningful dialogue, good content, quality content. And I was like, wait a minute, you brought it up. And I said, me and Jamal were just talking about that. Let's do that. That's a great one. It's good topic.
Well, I also had some good 90 Day Fiance stuff too to talk about. But this worked out better. We could save that for another night.
Yeah, save that for another night. That's some more juicy content.
Yeah.
Jamal says he's at a poker table. And I was born last night, but not. I was born at night, but not last night.
Well, in Nevada. Where are you, Jamal? All right. So we got Bernice. Hello, Bernice.
Hey, Bernice.
Hey.
Good.
How are you?
I miss you, John. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. How are you doing tonight? What do you think about everything?
This is crazy because you can say whatever you like. I said, she's a female version of Donald Trump. I want to tell you whatever I need to do to discredit you, but I ain't got no proof behind it. So you got to prove yourself innocent. So she's setting herself for a fail because if she doing all this dirt to all these people, all they got to do is do a class action suit when this go over, and she's gonna be penniless. I'm sorry, and I don't feel sorry for her, boo. You did this to yourself. You did it to yourself. You shot yourself in the foot. Come on now. I'm sorry. YouTube is a vast audience. It's enough people out there for you to make your money, get rich. Whatever product you're selling or whatsoever, it's enough out there for everybody. For you to try to defame other people in order for you to get ahead, that's why I don't like it. Because you're shooting yourself in the foot by taking somebody else down while you're trying to come up.
And me and Monica have talked about YouTube is giant. I don't understand why people have to be so threatened by each other.
Right.
Right, Mon?
It's a big platform. It's a big platform. Right. And the key in life in general, what I live by, just stay focused on your own stuff. Right. Just get tunnel vision on your goals and your own stuff. In my mind, I'm my biggest competition. Me.
Exactly.
No one else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I'm concentrating on what I'm doing, I'm not looking to what's on the left or what's on the right.
No,
I'm
I
concentrating
don't even
on what's
see
in
you.
front of me. Exactly.
Mhm.
Because same thing with Jeffree Star. He just got sued by Anna Nicole estate because using her likeness and her lipstick, but you didn't get their permission. So
Well, like you should have gotten the permission. I mean, like,
right, you should have got permission first before you did all of this, because all the money you make is gonna go to them. It's not gonna go to
Greed is greed. Yeah, he's smart enough. He has a big team, and he has lawyers and marketers and all these other people. He knows better, but they were hoping they could fly under the radar, and Anna Nicole's estate wouldn't notice it, but they listen, we want our money.
Exactly, because I love Anna Nicole. I used to love her, and I still do, because come on now, be original. If you're gonna come out with something, say it's Anna Nicole like. I admire her, so I'm gonna make it like her. But come on now, Stevie Wonder can see that you stole from that. Like, come on now.
Mm-hmm.
And
I do miss Anna Nicole. I miss her show. I miss her. I miss her trim spot ads. I miss it all. I miss Sugar Bear.
Yeah.
I miss it all.
Because you're taking money from her child. Like, I'm sorry. You taking it from a child. Like, I'm sorry. No. You got to go. If you can't come up with nothing original, you don't need to be on YouTube claiming that you're the makeup man.
What's the name of her dog? Sugar Bear is the name of Mama June's man.
Yes.
Mama June just got a new pair of teeth, by the way.
Oh, did she?
She sure did.
That is the worst TV show in the world to watch. You want to talk about reality show that they have cue cards waiting?
Yes.
Like, I tried to watch that show one time, and you could tell, like, Mama June's like, "Hey, Sugar Bear,
yes,
don't be knocking on my door." Like, it was fake as fuck.
Yeah.
I couldn't. But Bernice, thanks for hopping on. It was nice seeing you. You're always welcome to hop on and give your opinion anytime you want.
You no problem. Tell Cody I love him. He's my other child.
Bernice loves you, Cody.
I love you. Love you.
Okay, and Monica, I will see you Monday.
See you Monday, baby. Bye. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye, Bernice. Bye.
Yeah, I think we're good. Cody is just having a conversation right now, and it's probably being picked up by everybody. So I'm going to end this real quick.
Sorry.
I think we covered everything, right?
Yeah, we did.
Did we? Is there anything else?
You look so happy, John. What's going on?
Because he's in love with me.
I can tell. I see it all over him. Look at him blushing.
We got really good news tonight, and today earlier, and
he's super happy. He loves me.
We actually have friends over right now. And,
okay.
My poor friends have been sitting in silence with the TV's been off. They're listening and wanted to watch, but we got good news, and there's going to be a big change that y'all are going to see in probably a couple of weeks. It's really good. So I've had a smile on my face all day today, and I was screaming at you on the phone, so I'm like, oh, I'm so happy.
I know. I wanted to hug and squeeze you. I was so happy for you. It's like, God is good, John. And that's what I said, right? I said, God is great, but he really and truly is. You're his child. He is blessing you. It's your time. And I couldn't be more happier for you. And going into the holidays, oh my God, this is the best news ever.
Yeah. Everyone's like, spill it. I'll just say that we won't be in around.
We won't have wooded.
We will. We'll be free of the wood paneling soon. I'll just leave it at that.
We will. Have
that's how I'll say. You guys want me to spell it? There'll be in a few weeks when we go live. There'll be no wood paneling behind me.
Lily pad picture, but there will not.
But I will be taking the lily pads with us.
Just think of the Jeffersons theme song in your head.
The fish don't fry in the kitchen. That's what we do. Beans don't burn on
They
the
moving on up,
grill.
on up. Yeah, things are looking really good.
So yeah, it's been a good day. So yeah. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it but you'll see sooner or later. It'll
We're
happen.
gonna surprise you like when we get surprised and everybody else will see.
No,
it.
we're actually going to steal this.
No,
we're
we're
just
not
going-
stealing it.
No, we're gonna steal it.
No, we're not stealing it.
Listen, I'm honest.
Don't say steal it.
This is screwed to the walls. Like you can't. This is in there, and we're like you can't move this shit. And we're gonna take it. Everyone's like, the few people that know, they're like, well, you gotta take the lily pads. I'm like, I know. You know, this is part of us.
No, we're gonna unscrew it and take it with us.
So if we gotta
Put it in your new office.
But yeah, so good news. And I think that's it. I don't want to keep my friends waiting who are patient. Get off. So everybody, thank you. I'm sure that we'll be live again because this is like, a developing story. And there's probably a lot more to come. And I don't like Katie. And I just want to put that out there again, just for like one more time. Just don't like her. And that's it. So, Monica, thank you, Monica, for coming with the facts and the court documents. Like, you really carried this show with like and thank you, Jamal. My moderators. I think that's won the Oscar. God. And yeah, so I will see everybody soon. And make sure that everybody's following Monica from All About the Tea. She has an amazing blog if you haven't read it. Also,
she's the best. Besides my husband.
On Monday, she'll be with the panel for the Real Housewives of Potomac, the recap. And yeah.
Sounds good. Hugs and kisses to everyone in the comments. John, I love you. I love you too, Cody.
I love you too, honey.
Tell your guests I say good night. And you guys have a wonderful evening. John.
You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
There you go.
Y'all have fun.
You be safe out there, Monica. We love you.
You too, baby. Y'all stay safe and be blessed.
God bless. Please.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Bye.